And we're back underway now for the start of quarter number one. On to the U17 division at the Winter Box League, brought to you by Pro Caliber Lacrosse. And Team White is going to get the first possession here of the game. And they look poised to strike here early on, but they're going to have to deal with a big blue defense as that shot winds up on goal. It'll be knocked away, though, by Aiden O'Sullivan, the starting netminder, in goal for Team Blue. At the other end, it'll be Joseph Drews with the start for Team White. So Sullivan watching on now with White putting together a nice passing play, but all wound up in the corner instead. Now to the outside, a spin move that's defended well. Just 3 on the shot clock. They will fire, and Aiden O'Sullivan will make his second stop of the game already. Blue able to come up with possession, though, and wheels are on to get over the timeline. Straight in on goal, and Drews makes his first stop, looking for the loose ball as it works its way through the middle. Blue able to hang on, though. Fake shot and a pass over to the near side instead. Tyler May will throw to the far side. It's Cale McMurray looking for a lane. They'll shoot on Drews, looking behind him. Tried to sweep that off the goal line, but it trickled out the other side. Close call there. Now Blue has to get back in time with White trying to go in an odd man rush. Can't get the shot on goal, though. No save needed for O'Sullivan. Got to be careful of the open gate there. Blue able to break free over the line. The pass is good. The save is better. Drews with the left pad. And Blue will retain possession now on the reset. Fed back to the outside. Logan Watson gets it back to the lefties. Strong side right here for Blue. Just 4 on the shot clock. A heavy one from distance, but that goes well wide off the end glass. White will pick it up and look to get back to their offense, which we saw going pretty well in the opening couple of minutes or so. Now a couple of shifts of defending for some extended periods. Change behind the play, brings on a fresh set of legs. Noah Canpile able to work his way forward. Parks off ball, and White's going to run out of time. A good defensive stand here for Blue. No save needed for Aiden O'Sullivan. Stop that early flurry of White chances. Since then, most of the play has been at the opposite end of the rink. Nice little toe drag there from McMurray. Works his way to the corner, but sends the ball to the righties. So now they throw 3 lefties on this time around. McMurray has some room. He'll shoot, he'll score. Glove side on Drews. And Blue will strike first. An outside shot on the run from Cale McMurray. 1-0, Blue leads. Now back to the drawing board. White will line up for the ensuing draw, and it'll be batted back towards the line. Hung on to, though, by Blue, and they want to go right back to the goal. And a backhander that hit the post. Is that McMurray again, I believe? And now he's got it behind the goal. Thinking about the dunk, he'll work his way to the far side instead and now try to create some space. A roll to the middle, gets the shot off and denied by Drews. Now he's hit from behind. Just going to be an interference call, so he'll earn his team another possession. McMurray passes down low after he faked the shot. And now he'll knock a pass down while going back, but White will look to chase it down. The goaltender, O'Sullivan, came out to help out his defenders and took away what looked like it was going to be a clear chance for Howard Rogers. Now that pass was not on. White will take it back in their own zone. Have to deal with this full blue press, however. Legged over the line, Liam Gaster feeds to the corner. 15 on the shot clock. Back to the outside again. Kufsky, now Gaster. Nice move and shot right on. O'Sullivan squeezes that left hand up against his body, able to keep his team in front. 1-0 they lead with a little over 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. Team Blue clearly has the horses to be able to go on some of these one-on-one plays, but now with the chance the other way for White to tie. They score 1-1. A chance at Blue's end and wind up turning it over, and White will cash in as Liam Gaster had a couple of looks on the last shift. Now he'll be rewarded for his efforts, and the score will be even at 1. Ensuing faceoff goes the way of Blue. Brixton McIntyre takes a peek towards the center line. He'll dish to a leaping Max Drulis. That shot sails wide. Rebound is picked up. White wants to go. Have a man streaking off the bench. The pass did not connect, though. Pickering finds some spot. Pass was a little too low to be able to settle it down. It was Posterski. And they'll get a reset as O'Sullivan made the stop. The ball will bounce its way up the boards. McMurray. He had the 1-0 goal. He's back on the floor once again with 4:20 to play in the first. And here is Cale McMurray sizing up his man, gets topside, fakes the shot, and feeds back to the corner. Lefty's going to work right now for Blue. Swing to the near side. Shot around a screen. Missed the mark, and the shot clock will expire. A better defensive stand for Team White. Nice save by O'Sullivan. Just got his shoulder up in time. Ball will deflect up and out of play. White gets the reset starting off in the corner. Good motion here, and another nice O'Sullivan stop. Rebound there, and sails over the goal. It'll work its way to the near side. White still with possession, though. Shot took another deflection. Nice lane taken away at the last second there by the Blue defender, Ty LeMay. Bouncing back to topside. Hatchela able to find the lefties doing some work. A nice check there by the Blue defender, sliding over in time was Brixton McIntyre. Rebound available through the slot. A shovel feed goes towards the perimeter. Under 10 to shoot. White running out of time. Shot around a screen, but not on goal, and that'll ricochet back towards the line, and White has to settle with just putting the ball down off a violation. 2.5 to play in the first. Drulis able to carry in. Everybody getting a touch right now on this set for blue until this moment here. A shot on that'll be blocked by a defender, and that did not feel good. But that's not going to slow down Noah Campanile. Couldn't catch the pass, though. As it bounces out of his stick, and now he has to go back, stumbling for his efforts. What an active shift this has been for him. Unfortunately, though, a block and then a tumble as well, but he'll get back onto the bench now and can nurse that fresh bruise he'll be sporting this holiday season. White still with possession and 90 seconds to play. That shot goes right off the goaltender's face mask. Remember, modified NH pick a league, NLL rules. So goaltender taking a shot off the face. It's not a whistle like it would typically be with these teams or players playing in their minor associations. So Aiden O'Sullivan has to just shake that off. Now a pass ahead. McMurray couldn't find the handle, and that almost made contact with the backup netminder for Team White on the bench right now, James Sarkany. Had to avoid that at the last second. Now into the final minute of quarter number 1. Nice pick and roll to the middle. Shot wide. Big rebound, falls towards the outside. There was a fresh set of legs streaking onto the floor. Hudson Clement couldn't knock it down. Another chance that'll be denied by O'Sullivan. 35 to play. White starting to turn it on here in the final minute. They want their first lead. So they trailed 1-0. Following the goal from Cale McMurray, Liam Gaster got one back, and now they do find their first lead. A nice bit of passing and a quick stick into the back of the net. And it'll be the aforementioned Liam Gaster with his second of the quarter to give his team the 2-1 lead, and they will take that lead into the break. And we'll take a breather as well. When we return, it'll be time for face-off of quarter number 2 with White leading 2-1. Back after this. Back in the forum for quarter number 2. It's a 2-1 lead for Team White in the U17 division after back-to-back goals from Liam Gaster. And maybe another one here. It's a 3-1 game. How about those hands? Not much that Aiden O'Sullivan can do at that point when you got Howard Rogers going one-on-one right off the opening faceoff. And just getting a note from my producer right now in my ear, one of the former MVPs here at the Winter Box League. That's the fine production crew of Pro Caliber Media. But maybe a chance to get one back for Blue the other way, as Drews will get that shoulder up in time. Has to recover, though, because the ball is bouncing, and almost a chance for Blue to go again. But Drews with a big stop, denying Evan Catton. Catton now back to defend. Rogers still on the floor after he made this a 3-1 game in the opening minute of this second quarter. Trying to clear some space. He'll get the return feed, but a good stick. Knocked that away. That's the goal scorer for Blue, Cale McMurray. Lots of scouts here in attendance watching the talents of McMurray. So he's approaching his junior years of lacrosse. From my understanding, plays for the Port Moody Thunder. But now wearing a PCL jersey, and with a goal in this game, look at those hands. He'll spin with one hand on his stick. Didn't get much farther, though, from the outside. White doing a real good job of locking it down, especially when number 18 in Blue is on the floor. And when you have one of the top lockdown defenders as your head coach, Reed Bowering. Not overly surprising to see the defense playing those sorts of ways. Now they're going to work to their offense, though. 9.5 left. Good motion here, now working down low. A deflected shot goes over top of the goal, and McMurray will find it in his own zone. Tail end of his shift. He'll calmly work it forward. Got to be careful of that 10-second count, though. Makes an extra move, and he gets over with 1 second to spare. Referee Nathan Chalmers with a watchful eye on Cale McMurray as he just gets over the line in time. Under 10 to shoot. Blue would love to get one back here and cut the lead back down to 1. Tough lane to find right now, and they will not be able to get it on goal in time. No save needed for Joseph Drews. He'll just let that bounce up and out of play. That will allow Team White to collect, but Blue starting to pressure a little bit. A healthy slash onto the White ball carrier, and that shot deflects off the left pad of Aiden O'Sullivan. That had a chance to go. He'll reach out from inside of his crease. Now he'll take a step outside to give himself a little extra room, but he gives it away and then makes a save. Miraculously rights his wrong. How did that stay out? Can we get a replay on that, producers? I don't know about that. But Aiden O'Sullivan with the save of the year. Not sure what he was thinking on the original pass, but it's not going to matter as he came over in time and just got the stick out. That sails over the goal. It'll bounce its way towards the restraining line. Picked back up by White with 5 seconds to shoot. They do, and O'Sullivan got the shoulder out. Now he'll pick it up. Oh, and then he dropped it almost in his goal. It's going to count. What a stretch of play from Aiden O'Sullivan. So he gave it away for a moment. Made up for the mistake with an unbelievable stop. But then as he tried to make a routine pass out of his own zone, it winds up rolling out of his stick and over the line. Now a 4-1 lead for Team White on one of the weirder goals that you'll see. Not sure who they're going to give credit to. So White gets it back on the face-off to follow. High screen is set. O'Sullivan with an easier save this time around, and defender comes in to get the ball from him. It's McMurray. Remember, he's got 10 seconds to get over, and that clock winds down to 22 before he does. Still lots of time. Now Drews with a save, and he'll make another one, getting that left elbow up. took away the high corner. Blue gets the reset. McMurray's open. They'll find him. Keeps it on the near side for the lefties to go to work. McMurray clearing some space to allow his teammate Brixton McIntyre to go straight to the goal. Druce makes another stop. McMurray feeds down to McIntyre. That pass didn't connect, but McIntyre found it on the second chance. That'll bounce off the end glass, out of play. And bench boss Connor Robinson, for some reason with a stick in his hand, just passes back to his team. Nice pick and roll at this end as well. Another nice save from O'Sullivan. McMurray's been out for a while, likely wants to head off sooner than later, but he turns on the Jets to get it into the offensive zone. Faked as if he was making his way towards the bench. He is just going to stay in play. Druce with the stick stop. Rebound there to be collected by White. And now they'll clear the line with 5:25 to play. O'Sullivan got the shoulder up. Rebound falls to his crease. They have a man up the play, and the pass is good. But White able to get back in time. Not really much of a rush chance for Blue. They'll have to settle with some 5-on-5 play here. Feed was out of the reach of Caleb O'Connell. Still settles it though, and now the righties will go to work. 5 to shoot, 1-on-2, got through, and Druce, oh, he got a piece. Thought he had it underneath of his arm, but it will be another goal for Blue, and a big one for them to cut the lead in half. So now it's a 4-2 game. 4:20 left in the second. White's been good on faceoffs here this evening. And almost a back over. But just remains on the offensive side of center for Team White. They can do a little more work here before Blue will counter. Silas Gagnon will have to go back and defend now for Blues. McMurray will work his way into the near side. McMurray tries to roll through. Now he'll get it on top side, under 10 to shoot. On his wrong side, now he'll feed through, and Druce can't squeeze the legs together. All of a sudden, it's a 1-goal game. Blues scored back-to-back now. 3.5 to play. Chance to tie this game as it looked like White was going to start to run away with things. Man, these are just two evenly put together teams. Give us a 7-game series between these two, because that's going the length for sure. Equality all throughout the lineup. Well, here's another chance for Rogers with the one hand. Some people call that the Forsberg campaign, for it to be coined the Trey Deer after much of last season with Orangeville, and Rogers denied again. So O'Sullivan kicks out the right leg, turns it into a chance the other way. McMurray's streaking forward. The pass hasn't come yet. Now it does. Too hot to handle, though, in close range. McMurray has to take it off the bounce. A goal here would be huge for Blue. It's morale at one point dipping, but now back-to-back goals. Flip pass towards McMurray, out of his reach. It'll be picked up by Howard Rogers. He'll float it ahead. It's another breakaway for White. O'Sullivan made the stop. Hard bounce off the boards, and McMurray back for a defensive shift, able to pick it up. He'll throw a sidearm feed all the way down the floor before heading off for a change. Blue can't find the equalizer, not yet at least. Still looking for that loose ball. They'll get it behind the net with under 10 seconds on the shot clock. Logan Hansen spinning off of a glancing blow. Now just 2 seconds to shoot. Defended perfectly. Hansen got himself into some trouble and couldn't find his way out of it. 90 seconds on the clock. White had a man up the play. Couldn't get it over in time. It was Silas Gagnon wanting that pass. Never came. He'll park himself on the near side now. Directing traffic off ball. Working his way up. I think he was about to set a pick, but the pass came instead. Just crisscrosses with his line mate. Now Gagnon has it. Just to the far. Campanile drops his shoulder. He's going to drive, dive, and fire it off the post. Pass on a rope works. Druce with the shoulder. Ball down to the concrete again. White will pick it up in their own zone. Blue pressing right now with 40 seconds to go. Got to get this over the line. They got 3 seconds left to do so, and now they will. Gagnon to the middle. Shot will go just off the outside of Aiden O'Sullivan's glove. And with Blue being last to touch, it'll negate the back over call, so White can take their time. Shot clock is off, just 17 to play. Pass through is good. Save is better, though, from O'Sullivan. Clock winds down under 10. White with another reset. Across to the middle. Gagnon denied. O'Sullivan with a big kick stop there to keep his team within one. One more last second save, and that'll likely be it for him in goal as he'll switch with his backup netminder in this game and take a quick breather as we look on to the second half. White in front, 4-3, but Blue pressing. And still 2 quarters to play. Back after this. Well, a trade has been made mid-game, except not between the teams. It's with the officiating crew as Nathan Chalmers makes a deal to bring head coach of Team Blue, Connor Robinson, on the floor. That might be conflict of interest. And, well, Connor Robinson calls that a good goal against his team. Just like the start of the second quarter, Howard Rogers scores right away off the opening faceoff. So it'll be the second of the game for Rogers. And I wonder if Connor Robinson is going to be doing any coaching here while he's got a whistle in his hand. Interesting development here at the Winter Box League. And we've seen some goaltending changes as well. For Team Blue, Aiden O'Sullivan started the game. In comes Aiden Ferguson. So the two Aidens pair up to man the crease for Team Blue. More on the Team White goaltender in a moment, because Ferguson has to make another save and may have to make another here as White gets the rebound. Fresh 30 to work with. In front, 4-3. trying to extend that lead back to 2. Nice pick and roll and a twister shot right on. Ferguson got the shoulders up high, and that deflects into the blue bench, last touching a white stick. So now that gives me a chance to tell you about James Sarkany in goal for Team White, giving Joseph Druce the rest of the evening off. So White now in front. 5-3 after the early goal in the third quarter by Howard Rogers. Pass ahead, it's a breakaway again for White, fired wide. Chance for Silas Gagnon. He's had plenty of chances in this game so far, nothing to show for it though. So he has a conversation on the bench right now with Rogers, likely about the chances he's been unable to convert on, and Blue with a chance the other way, but Sarkany dropping down to a knee. Denied the man in tight. It was Brixton McIntyre. It's a 2-on-0 the other way for White. Another one fired wide. Bobbled pass. It'll work its way down low. Campanile picks it up, and he's going to run pretty well the length of the floor himself. He wants it back as he cuts to the middle. Pass never comes. Now it does, but a little too late and a little too low as well. Helps to knock down the Blue defender, so White can take possession and try to settle things down here a little bit. Shot down, right on. Ferguson with the stick. Keeps his team within 2. Flipped back to Campanile. The big man will create some space in the middle. Just crashing and banging right now. He wants it on the roll. The rebound was there. Don't think he was expecting it as quickly as it came. But White with another reset. Blues got to be exhausted right now. They've been defending for probably the last minute and a half. 8.5 to play in the third quarter. Right to the goal, scores, it's gonna count. 3-goal lead now for White as they go up 6-3. Nice individual effort there on a drive to the goal. I believe that was Gaster. And watch out for Howard Rogers back on the floor for this face-off. We've seen him score right off the draw in the second quarter and to start the third, and tries to win this to himself. Can't get it as cleanly as the last time. He's got the size advantage on almost everybody on the floor right now, though. So can find his own space if he so chooses. The finesse to tuck his stick through, and now he'll feed to the middle. Nice save by Ferguson. And a crease call there made by Connor Robinson. It benefits Team Blue. I mean, I wonder if that could be a bit of a controversy as he gives his team a call. A little over 7 to play. Blue trailing 6-3 in the third quarter. Can't find a shooting lane. There was one available, but a swing and a miss by the Blue forward, Logan Watson. Bounced in and out of his stick right as he took a swing. No save needed there for James Sarkany. Has not been overly busy here in the third quarter. A couple of saves to show for his efforts, though. McMurray trying to hook down on his man. Keeps Donovan Wallace at bay. Those two will come together in the middle while Ferguson takes that into the PCL logo on his chest. Pass finds Campanile. Big windup, big shot. Ferguson lets that fall into his pad. Has to find the handle of the loose ball, though. So we've already seen one goaltender bobble a pass that turned into a goal against. Hopefully it remains at just that one. Under 6 to play. Nice pass through, but another better save. Sarkany taking away the high corner, and the ball winds up in Team White's bench. A good forechecking effort from Brixton McIntyre. Tries to pass quickly down low, and Sarkany, privy to that, knocks it down in his crease, and he'll leave behind his goal for Campanile. A little overzealous on that pass, gives it away. Logan Hansen leads the rush. Gets it up to McIntyre. Now swing across, ball is loose. Chance to go for White. Hudson Clement couldn't find it after making the defensive play, and then Sarkany bails out his defender and then gets across to make another stop. Down on a knee, sliding to his left. Maybe numbers for White. Backhander to Clement. He'll go across the crease one more time. Pretty passing play here, and Ferguson with the denial, close to a crease violation. Backhand shot, Ferguson with another save. And it'll be a back in. Blue forcing, or White forcing Blue into some tough areas in their own zone right now, really just running out of room through the middle. Late change to bring Howard Rogers back on, and Ferguson makes another stick save right as Rogers touched down onto the floor. Hadn't even entered the offensive zone yet. Blue's got to get this over center. Nice pass between the benches, works. Clock goes down to 4. It's still a 6-3 lead for White. Fake shot on the jump. Now McMurray looking for his second. Couldn't find it. He'll head back, though, with Rogers turning on the Jets. McMurray stayed with him the whole time. Noah Campanile. He'll shoot around a screen. Off the end boards. Campanile got away with a bit of a high stick. Caleb O'Connell shakes that off, gets it over center. Rogers back to defend. Under 10 to shoot. Just over 3 to play. And it'll be another save by James Sarkany. Got that into his stick. Not much to shoot at the 5-hole of James Sarkany. Shot goes well wide. It'll be a back over call. Sarkany will leave in the corner. Is Blue going to make a wholesale change here and pick this up already in the offensive zone? That'll help their chances. 2.5 on the clock, though, and they've got some work to do heading into the final quarter. Pass on, Sarkany with the save. He's been perfect so far since coming into this game. Even when Blue getting their chances, have to deal with the hot goaltender, and at the other end, White gets another. It'll be a 7-3 game late in the third. Blue continuing to hunt for answers. I do start to wonder now, though, if the loss of their head coach has started to become a factor. As Nate Facine taking on the coaching duties for Team Blue, and just having a hard time remaining in control of this group. You got a champion in Connor Robinson, no longer available. Plus, you got a goaltender in James Sarkany who is just denying every chance for Team Blue right now. Nate Facine and his troops, they've got their hands full here. But it certainly helps to have a referee on your side. McMurray able to reach back and pick it up. Takes a peek behind him to see what kind of cavalry he's got coming with him. Not much just yet. A late change. And by the time they get settled, only have half of their shot clock. Now into the final minute as that ball goes high into the air. O'Connell got back to make the defensive play. White still able to get a shot off, though. 40 seconds to make some magic happen. That's not going to do it. Deflected pass across, still able to retain, though. Physicality ramping up as part of this booming White defense. They cause another turnover. Speaking of booming, here's Howard Rogers, unable to go the length of the floor. A wise decision there for Blue to let this go over center to find some more space. Logan Watson, though, I don't think he realized that didn't have much time on the shot clock, and not much time left in the quarter either, down to 5. Does White want one more chance, trying to reach around, and they score a buzzer beater. And now Blue, if they didn't have their work cut out for them in this final quarter, well, they certainly do now. It's an 8-3 lead for White as we head into our final break. Fourth quarter action is coming up next. Back inside the Forum, a massive fourth quarter coming up here, specifically for Team Blue. Been on their heels for much of this game, but the turning point so far seems to be when head coach Connor Robinson was brought onto the floor to be a second referee. And since then, Team Blue has just not been able to find an answer for this onslaught of offense for Team White. A 5-goal lead. This is one of the goal scorers for Blue, McMurray. He can create a lot, and he'll get it back to the near side, but it falls out of his stick before he could shoot. One too many moves. Scored back in the first quarter. Oh, what a save from Sarkany. Robbery. Might make its way onto Sports Center with that stop. Here's Rogers. He's got 2 in the game. Tries to set up a near side chance. A glancing blow off the goaltender's shoulder as Aiden Ferguson just fixes his net real quick before getting back to position. Rogers looks like he wants more. Not sure if he was the intended target on that pass, but it missed. Rolls its way over to the far side. Blue wants to get up and go here. Carried ahead by McIntyre. He and McMurray will pair up to get the ball into the O-zone. McMurray spins, fakes the shot over to McIntyre. He'll leap and shoot. Save there by James Sarkany. Not quite as flashy as his last stop, but still just as important. McMurray got over the top, shot, and rebound is collected as that goes off the end boards, and Sarkany closes up the 5-hole down on his knees. Breakaway chance the other way for Team White. Denied by Ferguson. He's got to be perfect the rest of the way through here if his group has a chance at a comeback. And White may have just gotten away with a back over call. They'll take possession back and try to work. Ferguson takes that off of his face mask, gets himself back set on the line. Doesn't know where it is. Made the save, and then it fell into his leg pad. 9.5 to go here. Blue having a hard time breaking free of this pressure. Now they do, though. They've got a good amount of time to try to make something happen, but at the same time, it is a running clock here in the Winter Box League. So very quickly, this clock's going to wind down from 9, and in the blink of an eye, it's going to be down to the final minute. Here's Rogers on hat trick watch. He'll feed in tight, and Ferguson able to keep the stick down. Howard Rogers wearing the mismatching shoes here. Quite the look for him. Twister on goal, another save for Ferguson. Here's Rogers on the reset. White can use the clock if they want. Ferguson with another save in tight, just under fire right now. And then Blue gives it away again, a one-handed pickoff. A reverse backhand, and Ferguson shuts the door. Silas Gagnon cannot believe it. A chance the other way. Sarkany got that left arm out in time. Blue will take it back in their own crease. Feed up to McMurray. Doesn't like the drive in front. He'll fake the move and wait for some help to come. Does come in the form of Hayden Yerbury. McMurray, one defender to beat. Gets over top, he'll shoot short side. Had a chance to bank that off the goaltender, but it trampolines its way into the near wall. Clock winds down to 7:20. Feels like a must-score possession for Blue the next time they cross center. First things first, though, they need a defensive stop. Right on goal, Ferguson with the left arm. Defensive breakdown. There was a White forward all alone in front, and that was while Team White was making a change on the fly as well. Now Blue will try to settle. We'll see if they can cook something up here. They've got a chance, but they got to go to work right now so they get some fresh legs on. Again, taking up half of their shot clock. By the time they get in the offensive zone, the pick and roll does not work. Defended perfectly by Team White. And an interference call goes against Team White, favoring Team Blue. And looking over to see, it does look like it was Connor Robinson making that call. Controversy mounting, and a chance in tight right away. Blue almost takes advantage of their coach making a call in their favor. Long bomb forward. Hit the back of the backtracking defender. Now numbers for Blue. It's a 2-on-1 out of nowhere, and Sarkany makes another save. He remains perfect since coming in at the beginning of the second half. Low shot, low save. Sarkany able to squeeze that into his stick. Three more seconds to get over the line. White does just in time. 5:40 to play. Still an 8-3 lead right now for White. Rogers has 2 of the 8. Anchors on his defender, flips it all the way across the floor over to Campanile. Shot is on. Ferguson kicks that over in front of Team White's bench. They'll once again get a reset. Rogers open, backhander's blocked. Goes off the defender's mask. So no reset, but White gets the rebound. Spinning shot off the end boards, back to the point, under 10 now to shoot. Campanile throws a backhander. Supposed to be a pass through the middle. Missed the mark, though, and Blue will take it back. Hard pass, too low for Brixton McIntyre to settle. So James Sarkany will make the play on it, and White goes right back to work offensively. Plenty of room right now. Rogers had to reach backwards for the pass. Winds up taking it off the corner boards. Up top for Campanile. 4:20 to go in the fourth. Shot came, but it was just a second too late, says Nathan Chalmers, who could not get the officiating done on his own. That's why he brought out Connor Robinson. McMurray, hard pass through. Really trying to get everybody activated in this offense. But Team White has defended McMurray and his decisions pretty well all game long. Just the one goal to show for his efforts. There's a nice save by Ferguson and can't stop the crease dive. White makes it 9-3. So who is Blue going to send out now? If they have hopes at a comeback, they got to be pretty strategic about the units they put onto the floor. 3 minutes to try to get 6 goals. Seen crazier things happen before at the Winter Box League. Might tonight be one of those magical evenings. Pass to the back door. Too hot to handle. Game clock winds down to 2.5. White can really ice this game. Well, I was going to say with a reset, but the goal winds up doing that instead. For the first time all day, we've seen a team get to double digits. It's a 10-3 lead for Team White. And Blue has just not had an answer. Sure, the media is going to have all sorts of questions for head coach Nate Facine after the performance here this evening. Can hear a good bit of communication from the defenders, making sure everybody's aware it's a lefty strong set here for Team Blue. Brixton McIntyre gets the pick and roll, but can't get the pass off. It's intercepted. Campanile's had some chances in this game. He'll throw a reverse backhand over to Rogers on a 2-on-1. The pass connected, but Ferguson made the save. Now Campanile locked off by McIntyre. Kept the cradle going to maintain possession as we enter now the final 60 seconds of regulation. Hard shot through, they score. How's that for a release? May have been some traffic in front, but either way, the goal will count all the same. It's an 11-3 lead for White here into the final minute. And this might be the final face-off of the game, barring a goal from one of these two sides. But full credit is owed to James Sarkany, who came into this game with 3 on the board against his team. But since he's come in, he has not allowed a single. And that includes that unbelievable save early on in this quarter to really help backstop his team to this performance. The offense is going to get a lot of love here, but Sarkany's been good when he was called upon. Rogers, or check that. Rogers on the bench. It was Seth Kufsky with the late shot, and that's going to ice the game. 11-3 the final score as we look on to the following days of the Winter Box League. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back underway tomorrow, 4 p.m. start time as per usual for the entire crew here at Pro Caliber Media. Thanks for joining us. I've been Tino Farah, and we'll see you on the next one.